Hey guys, what's up? It's Ryan, and we're back with some more financial hacks. Today, we're going to be talking about credit cards. Now, guys, the average American carries over $16,000 in credit card debt. That's insane. $16,000. Most credit card companies set their interest rates north of 20%. That means on an easy $10,000, you're going to be paying $2,000 a year just in interest without even whittling down the principal at all. Guys, this is terrible. It's literally highway robbery, and we're not going to let the credit card companies get away with this. Do you realize that at $16,000 plus in credit card debt, it's going to take you over 15 years of making minimum payments and cost you over 25 grand? 25 grand, guys. That's insane. That's way too much money. We're not going to let the credit card companies rob you. Today, I'm going to be going over count them, four easy steps that you can do right now to raise your credit score in the next 30 days. Okay, guys, look, credit cards aren't all bad. They offer several benefits to you that we would be foolish to not take advantage of. They provide things like points and miles. They provide cash back. They can also help you build and improve your credit score over the long term if managed appropriately. And compared to a debit card, they offer no liability for any fraudulent purchases. Let me just explain that again. When you're using a credit card out in the world and somebody gets a hold of it or gets a hold of your number or you lose it and they start spending on your account, all you have to do is call the credit card company up and let them know that your card was lost, stolen, whatever, and that these purchases weren't made by you. They'll send you an affidavit, you sign it, and those purchases are wiped away. Compare that to a debit card where if you lose that and somebody starts spending that, that's going to be linked directly to your debit or checking account and it's going to come directly out of your balance, and there's little to no recourse you can take to get that money back. So credit cards aren't all bad. I don't want you to think that, but it's important to remember that we need to use them responsibly. So we're going to be going over 4 steps right now that you can do in the next 30 days to raise your credit score. Okay, guys, step number 1 is correcting any errors on your credit report as it stands right now. Now, this might sound silly, but what you need to do is first obtain a copy of your credit report. This can be done on any of the 3 bureaus' websites. You can also call your credit card company. They should be giving you a monthly credit score update as it is. They should be able to help you track it month to month. But if you call them up and ask for a copy of your report, you can look it over yourself, verify that all the transactions on there are yours and all the outstanding debts are yours. If some of the debts are not yours, call them back, ask for a correction. Let them know that these are not your debts, and it's always a good idea to follow up with a signed written letter confirming exactly what you spoke about on the phone. Once you sign that written letter and send it to them, make 3 copies and send them to the 3 bureaus as well: TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Once you do that, they'll have a copy of your dispute as well, and they will note it as such. I know this sounds painful, but it's totally worth it. Okay, guys, step number 2 is to become an authorized user. Now, what I mean by that is, do you have any friends, family members who have better credit or slightly better credit than what you have? Reach out to them. Let them know that you're trying to rebuild your credit. You're in a tough spot right now, but you're looking to improve it. And ask them if they would be willing to add you on as an authorized user to their already existing card. By doing this, you take on their credit limit, which is fantastic for you, especially if in this scenario we're not planning to spend anything, right? We're just trying to improve our credit score as quickly as possible. So you become an authorized user on your mom, your dad, your brother, your girlfriend, your friend's account. That will allow you to raise your DTI, or your debt to income. This is one of the pillars of credit, one of the pillars of underwriting, something that goes into any calculation of understanding if somebody's going to be able to repay a debt on anything, whether that be a car, a home, a credit card, whatever. By signing on as an authorized user, you're going to increase your available credit and lower your DTI, or your debt to income. In turn, will raise your credit score over the next 30 days. All right, guys, step number 3 might sound a little bit like step number 2, but it's as simple as raising your own credit limit on your existing cards. Now, what that does has a similar effect to what we discussed in step number 2, where you become an authorized user. Same type of effect on increasing your credit limit and lowering your DTI, or your debt to income. but instead we're just going to do it on our own cards. This is as simple as calling up your credit card companies and requesting a higher limit on the existing cards that you have, whether that be 10,000 to 20,000, whether that be 5,000 to 10,000. Any increase in your credit limit will yield an increase in your credit score over the next 30 days. Now again, I cannot stress this enough. This does not mean you have the option to now go out and spend up to this limit. In fact, you shouldn't have been spending to the previous limit. What this means is that we are simply raising our credit limit with the intent of not spending it and improving our score. And last but not least, step number 4 is to negotiate, guys. You can actually negotiate your existing debts and your defaults on existing credit cards with the creditors themselves. You can call them up, explain that you are looking to pay off the loan, you do not have the full amount, and ask them if you can make a partial payment in return for having the debt marked as paid or waived off your credit report. Now, what they will do typically is send you a letter confirming the conversation that you had, confirming the amount of the debt, confirming the amount of the repayment, and that they are willing to mark that debt as paid for a partial payment. Make sure you obtain this letter and keep it in your records. It is crucial to this step. All right, guys, a couple other tips to increase your credit score and make your credit situation a little bit more tenable, palatable, easy, whatever you want to call it. Okay, what we can do is look at taking out a personal loan to consolidate all of your outstanding credit card debt from multiple cards into one easy to pay loan with a much lower interest rate. Now guys, personal loans are going to have lower rates than credit cards, bottom line. Regardless of what your credit score is, you are most likely going to find a much better situation with a personal loan as far as the rate is concerned than you will on a credit card. So what you can do is go to any bank, go to bankrate.com, go to NerdWallet, figure out who has the best rate on a personal loan for you, figure out how much outstanding credit card debt you have, take out that loan, take that money and immediately pay off your credit cards with it, and now you have one monthly payment at a low interest rate that you can make, and this is going to help you dramatically, guys. Other things to be aware of on your credit report, guys: how many inquiries you're putting on there a year. If you're applying for multiple cards or multiple loans, this will hurt your score. Every time that they do what's called a hard hit to your credit, it will drop your score by approximately 10 to 15 points. So anytime you go out and apply for a loan, for a car, a mortgage for a home, a new credit card, or really anything where they're going to be pulling your credit, so try to limit these inquiries. Only make sure that you're ready to apply for a loan and you're ready to buy when you go ahead and make these inquiries, or else you're just going to be pulling your report constantly, dinging your score by 10 to 15 points every time. And one other tip I can give you is be aware of your longest running credit card and keep it open. This is your longest running credit history. Now, what a lot of people do is they will have an old card from 10, 15 years ago with a balance on it. They'll be in a huge hurry to pay this balance off, which is a good thing, but upon paying the balance off, they'll immediately cancel the credit card because they're so done with the situation. They don't want to have anything to do with the card. And guys, this is deadly. When you cancel that credit card and you close that account off, that long-standing credit reporting falls off of your credit. All that does is make your score plummet. It will then revert to your second oldest card or your second oldest credit account, and that may not have nearly the same amount of history that your existing does. And for that, guys, I can't stress it enough. Do not close your old account. Do not close any credit accounts. Just don't spend on them. Okay? I will repeat that again. Do not close any credit cards. Just don't spend on them. The only time I would advise you to close a credit card is if it has a high yearly fee and you are not utilizing the benefits of it and it's costing you $100, $150, $500 a year just to keep the card. In those cases, get rid of those cards, cancel them, but any card that's free to have, never cancel it. Leave it open for as long as possible. It will only improve your credit score. Guys, that's all I have for you today. What I would encourage you to do right now is go on Credit Karma or a site like that, pull your credit report for free, get a good understanding of where you're at right now, where you stand with your credit, and then start analyzing the moves we discussed today and applying them to your situation and figure out ways to improve what you're doing already. In 30 days, your credit can be higher, I promise you, if you follow these 4 easy steps. Thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting the channel. I appreciate you watching the videos. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video.